Hello, I'm Brad Breeding with My Life Site, and this is the first of many upcoming videos where we're going to take just 2 to 3 minutes to answer some of the most popular questions on senior living and closely related subjects. So the first topic we're going to dive into is understanding the different categories of senior living. Before we do that, if you're watching this on Instagram or YouTube, be sure to click that follow or subscribe button. If you're researching retirement communities or other types of senior living options, it's really helpful to understand the different types of categories. So there's a couple of ways I might explain that, but here's one that I think is really simple. So you'll notice there's 4 boxes here, and each one says IL in the middle. That stands for independent living. Now, for the context of this conversation, independent living means that the resident can live independently without the need for assistance or health care on a daily basis. So maybe the resident's still active and social in many cases. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the first box. This is what I would call independent living with no care. So the resident lives in that community, but if something should change and they need assisted living or healthcare services later, the community itself does not provide any care to those residents. This is usually called active adult living, active adult neighborhoods. The second one is what I would call independent living with some care. Often called independent living or rental retirement communities. In this option, a resident can receive some care services, maybe assisted living, supportive care services, or maybe even memory care. However, this option does not provide 24-hour care or rehab care or things like that. That leads to the third one, which is independent living with full care. If you've ever heard of a continuing care retirement community, CCRC being the acronym, or sometimes called life plan communities, and by the way, there's a lot of terminology out there which makes all this more confusing, but a CCRC provides the full continuum of care, usually. Everything from independent living to assisted living, perhaps memory care, and even 24-hour nursing care. Lastly, in the fourth box, we have actually no independent living at all. These would be what I would call care only. So we're talking stand-alone or freestanding assisted living facilities or freestanding nursing care providers or quote-unquote nursing homes. Residents in these communities are all receiving some level of care. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in to future videos where we'll go into more detail on each of these categories.